Short story. But the beginning of my explanation for Aone's lack of words. Also the names are in the perspective of baby Aone, so they're kinda funny. Do they not talk? He does. At times. Takanobu sat quietly, looking at his hands. They glanced back and forth from their own to the big man's. The man's hands were so much bigger. They looked rougher, and scarred. His skin was darker than Takanobu's. He spoke for the first time since him and his wife had entered the room. Is there a reason they don't talk? Takanobu smiled a little bit. The man and his wife had only been referring to her neutrally instead of just decided she was a boy. It made him like them even more. He's been diagnosed with selective mutism and PTSD. They believe the mutism is due to PTSD, but they aren't sure because it's a rare thing for it to come from. The social worker dragged on his sentence, not finishing the thought. Do they write? If he's comfortable he will write what he's thinking if the whole speaking thing isn't working. The woman nodded and looked down to Takanobu. Do you have a notepad, honey? He does. She held up a finger to the worker, wanting the small human to answer themselves. Takanobu nodded slowly, not lifting his head. All right. May we have time alone with them? Yes, of course. Takanobu. He looked up at the worker. You're always allowed to leave, remember? Takanobu nodded, watching the worker leave. All right. A weight seemed to have been let off of the couple, their posture relaxed and they smiled at the young person. Takanobu shuffled in his little backpack next to his feet. She pulled out a notepad and a blue pen, setting them on the table. So we have a few questions for you if that's okay. Takanobu diverted his gaze to his lap once more, but he still nodded. My first one is your pronouns, honey. What are they? Your first one should have been if you can call them honey. Well, Takanobu smiled to herself a little bit, picking up the pen to scribble a few sentences into the page. I use he, they, she. And you can call me that. Okay, good to know. And you're sure you're comfortable with her calling you honey? Takanobu nodded, taking a tentative glance at the couple. The woman was jokingly grimacing at the man. He had a warm smile on his face, glancing between his partner and the child. His eyes shot back to his lap when the man and him made eye contact. She heard a small chuckle come from him. How old are you, Takanobu? I'm 14. Almost 15. Oh goody. When's your birthday, honey? The 13th of August. So are you in school? Yay, I am. I'm starting my first year in high school soon. Are you excited? Takanobu shrugged. I don't know how to feel. I'm scared about finding friends. The couple nodded. I get that, honey. That was always me. I went through all of first year not meeting one person. Until I joined the volleyball club and I met some of my best friends. Still friends to this day. And I haven't been in high school in 100 years. Hey, I'm not that old. Takanobu laughed a little bit. Oh, you think the jokester is funny? Takanobu flinched a little bit. She sounded mad. They looked up quickly, not expecting to see her smiling. A weird feeling flooded his chest. She looked so pleasant. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that sound bad? A little bit. She's just teasing, don't worry about her. Takanobu nodded, still watching the two. They didn't know how to feel about these people. They were so sweet, but what if they were faking? What if she went home with them and they were mean? What if they were like, so, we like you, Takanobu. I'm not sure if that was obvious. But we do want to take you in if you're a fit with us. If. The woman's smile grew the moment they talked. She clapped a little bit with her hands. Yes, if. Some people just aren't fit to handle adopting kids because. His sentence dragged off. Well, we think we are, but you have been diagnosed with PTSD, correct? Takanobu nodded, already getting where this was going. Too much? No. I just mean if we can't help you then you aren't going to be happy with us. You're not too much to handle. We just want to make sure we actually work as a family before you don't have a way out. Did I word that right? No, not at all. But you do understand what he means, right? Yes. Oh, I'm so happy. We do have more questions, of course. And I'm sure you have some for us. But the biggest one is. She paused a moment, hesitating with her words. The man laid a hand on her shoulder, softly whispering something into her ear. Takanobu only caught some of it. Do you want me to ask? She nodded, tugging at her lip. She wants to know if you would be comfortable coming to our house for a few hours. Just to look around and to have a chance to see us in our normal environment or whatever. Takanobu studied the two, watching them closely. Their shoulders were relaxed. He wasn't holding her tightly. Her skirt was above her knees. He had headphones around his neck. The longer they stared, the more the woman cowered. You don't have to say yes. You don't have to stay. You don't have to stay. The cold tile in the bathroom. The blood running down her arms. On his hands. The tears falling from his face onto hers. You don't have to stay, honey. It'll be okay. The hospital bed. The IV. The red drawer. Futakachi. You don't have to stay. It's probably really annoying telling your boyfriend why he shouldn't kill himself. Aone jumped awake in a cold sweat. His room was freezing cold from the draft that blew through the window. He scrambled to get up, checking the time. 9 p.m. He opened his door, moving down the hall quickly to peek into the living room. The TV was going, and the rest of the room was in dim light, save for the two figures curled up on the couch. She sighed heavily, causing both of the figures to turn their heads to him. Nobu. I thought you went to bed already. Aone stood there for a moment. They were lost. Until she rushed forward to hug her mom. What's up, Squirt? Aone just shook his head, trying to divert his eyes from the scars on her forearms. They were still there. Still too prominent. Hey, what's wrong, honey? They still wouldn't talk. They were trying not to squeeze her to death. Did you have a nightmare? They nodded. Oh, honey. What was it about? He sat up a little bit, his mouth opening and closing as he tried to talk. They felt so stupid. Talk. Talk. Until her dad handed her his phone. Text to speech. Aone nodded, taking the phone and typing away. Letting it play out loud. It started with the day you two met me. Then mom said that you don't have to stay. And it switched to the day she tried to. Yay. And then it was the hospital. And Futakachi. And then I woke up after the heart monitor went dead. I'm sorry, honey. But hey, I'm okay, remember. Got therapy now, I'm better. Yay, I know, You just. It makes me think about Futakachi and. I just. Get so worried and. They fell into the back of the couch. I never know what to say. What if the same thing happens and his monitor actually goes dead? And. Just breathe, honey. With you, I'm sure he'll be okay. But I never know what to say. And I couldn't keep you. Listen. I know it scares you. But I'm sure it'll be okay. And if something does happen, I give you permission to take my car. Yukaro. No. Yes. If something's going to happen to the boy, he might as well be married too. She is allowed to take my damn car if it saves his life. Aone just smiled. I love you. Oh, I love you too, baby. They weren't talking to you. But she loves me. Aone's mom cooed, leaning into her child. But Nobu. You know I was having a hard time when we adopted you. Nothing that happened was you. If anything, you're the reason it took so damn long. Yukaro gave Amita a light slap on the shoulder. I'm telling the truth. Not a good joke. She rolled her eyes, waving off her husband. But really. It'll be okay. And tell Futakachi he can always talk to us. We won't tell his parents. As long as we can legally do that. Yeah, whatever. We are barely 30, I am not going to jail. And I'm not telling some old rich farts that their son is suicidal, because guess what? They won't care. Yukaro waved his hands around dramatically. Listen, just because they're old and rich doesn't mean they don't care about Thei. They know Futakachi has attempted and they just left town while he was in the hospital. Never mind. Fuck old people. Young parent superiority. See. That's what I'm saying. Yukaro grinned, getting up to turn the TV off. You guys are cool. Good. I'm trying, dude. I have mental illness, do I fit in? I'm a stoner, do I fit in? Aone's dad shouted from the kitchen. You two fit in better than me. Or. You fit in, baby. Not really. But everyone pretends I do. You do, honey. I promise. She leaned in, giving her son a kiss on the forehead. I love you. And you are amazing. So glad I found you. He just smiled. Hugging Amita. Chosen family works the best. Exactly, fucker. Who wants fried chicken? Love it is. 10 p.m. I know. But fried fucking chicken. Oh, I love you.